Hello, I'm Nathan Judah. I'm here with Wolves reporter Mr. Liam Keane. Liam, Manchester United 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Strange game really to analyse. What did you make of it?
It was quite dull for the first 30 minutes or so, let's be honest, it was.
Pretty brutal.
United had a lot of possession. Wolves were steady, nothing exciting, but they defended okay, had absolutely zero attacking intent, or quality, let's put it that way, in that first 30 minutes. And then United score. Kilman takes a big risk really, stepping out to try and nick the ball off Fernandes, doesn't pay off. They break, Anthony passes, easy tapping from Martial. It's a poor goal to concede, mistakes across the board unfortunately, and from then Wolves sort of saw the first half out. Second half, a lot brighter, I felt. Still not the most incredible attacking threat or quality, but getting the ball out wide, some of the changes it made an impact. Hwang came on at half time, and I thought Hwang was actually probably one of Wolves' better players in the second half. Podence did okay when he came on as well. Jimenez did alright. So positives to take, but a little bit dull.
Yeah, I think the frustrating thing in the first half especially was United literally did not have to get out of second gear, and the goal was pretty calamitous really, wasn't it? Max Kilman, and the fact that it was just a tap-in for Anthony Martial. They didn't really have to do anything apart from be there, and that's the frustrating thing, that they're giving it away. And I understand that they're safe, I understand that maybe the pressure's off, but I expected a bit more in that first half today. Well,
it's a typical Wolves away performance this season, isn't it? A little bit negative, I think it's probably fair to say. Look, a very good team coming away to a difficult ground. I can understand the reason for the setup, but I don't really argue with the tactics too much, really. Just Wolves weren't really at the races. And look, they've won 2 games away from home all season. Everton, which was the last minute on Boxing Day, and Southampton, which obviously went down to 10 men and came back. They could have easily lost those 2 games. So Wolves away from home has been a nightmare all season. This wasn't one of those nightmare performances. It was just a little bit uninspiring. I can't completely slam the team because, as I say, it wasn't a Brighton performance. It wasn't performances we've seen away from home this year. But it just wasn't exciting. It didn't get anyone off their feet. And to the fans' credit, they stuck by the team the whole way, applauded them off at the end, and it was a standard loss.
One change from last weekend, and that was Dan Bentley coming in. But we kind of discussed whether he might come in for the last game, but they didn't. He kept with Jose Sarr, but he got his chance today. He got his Premier League debut at Old Trafford. Julian Lopetegui was full of praise for him after the game, and I think fair play. I know he's been disappointed to concede 2 goals. Couldn't have done much really about either of them, but a really solid display on your debut at 29 as well.
Yeah, really, really good. Look, I spoke to him after the game as well. There'll be plenty of that coming out in the next couple of days or so. And I'll put it this way, he's a good egg, Dan Bentley. He's a good egg. I spoke to him when he first signed. Really, really important in the dressing room this season. And he's not alone in that. There's been other players they've signed that have been just as important in the dressing room. But he's a big voice, brings a sort of committed English culture to the dressing room, which Lopetegui wanted. And he got his chance today. Away at Old Trafford. This is a man who came up playing for Southend down in League 2, League 1 and got his opportunity. And he couldn't really do anything for the 2 goals. Obviously disappointed to concede them. He made a handful, especially in that second half.
Really good.
Exceptionally good saves. And he can only be proud of his performance, and it's a proud moment for him and his family. So happy for him. And look, he's pushing Jose Sarr all the way.
Well, I'm going to say, last 2 games to go. Do you see that Dan Bentley will keep his place against Everton and Arsenal, or was it one game here? See what you can do. I mean, Lopetegui said he needs to know what he can do. Has he kept his place, or is it going to be on a game-by-game basis? Do you feel?
You're asking me to second guess Lopetegui, so I'm always going to lose that game, unfortunately.
I'm going to say Bentley for Everton and Sarr for Arsenal.
I can see that. On that performance, Bentley deserves to keep his place. But Sarr made some good saves against Villa. You know, he's been up and down this season, but he's still a very good goalkeeper. It's a toss of the coin, really. But look, as you rightly say, Lopetegui said in his press conference, I want to see some players. He's seen Bentley today. Jimenez obviously came on as well. We may see more of these players. Boubacar Traore's, Aït-Nouri's possibly, maybe even Johnny. We'll see some of these players, not all, but some probably in the next couple of games. It'll be interesting to see who gets that chance.
Well, Wolves were definitely better second half, and no coincidence when substitutions were made. Those players, I thought, did themselves, no injustices at all. So are we going to see them? We're going to see the likes of these substitutes coming on, the Podences, the Hwangs, the Jimenezes. Do you think they might get a chance from the start against Everton?
There'll definitely be some changes. I think we both predicted in the poddy, and we know how the poddy predictions go. They're always right, aren't they?
Always right. Hang on.
that the Everton game would be the last home game of the season. Yes, it's a team who are fighting to stay up, but it's not a particularly dangerous opposition, if that's fair to say. And you've got players like Moutinho, who was left out today. Could he start against Everton? It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this isn't left out bombed. You think
No,
it's
exactly.
just horses of a courses where you probably not, but you could quite easily come in as we've seen this season and go from the start. The Podentes, the Sarabias, they've all had that sort of situation, haven't they?
So the Everton game for me would be the one that those changes do happen in. And look, we'll wait and see. But again, look, we're second guessing Julian Lopetegui, and that's always a difficult game.
But Wolves are safe, so it's all good. It's a lovely day today, but just a little bit uninspiring in the end, wasn't it?
That's the word. You stole that word from me.
No,
I said
did I?
uninspiring.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
I did. Look, come on.
Sorry.
I know my stuff.
Wow.
Exactly that. Look. A little bit dull. I'll go back to that again. It was not. It was not.
Telling me.
It was. It was not a good game, and that's because to be completely fair, United weren't at the races, but they didn't have to be.
No, exactly. And that's the frustrating thing.
Exactly. Wolves allowed them to coast a little bit. They got their goal, and it never really felt like Wolves were going to get back into it. They did have a good spell in that second half, but not enough quality in that final third, and that's the difference. That's really been the story of the season. Wolves haven't scored goals this year, and that's something they've got to correct.
United 2, Wolves 0. For the post-match reaction, make sure you log on to expressandStar.com.